everyone, Colo at discountjuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and in this episode I'm going to show you guys my favorite winter time anti-inflammatory juice you guys could make with the Nama J2 or actually many other juicers. But the reason why I love the Nama J2 and is the machine that I use the most and is my favorite juicer at this time is because it is so simple and easy to use with its self-feeding hopper, and actually even it will also self-clean. Link down below where I will go into the self-cleaning and show you guys how you guys could easily use the J2 and how I've sold the J2 to so many people that have had different style juicers in the past, but then they went to the J2 because it is so easy, because they found that they just stopped using the other juicer because it was hard to push produce in and took time and cumbersome to use. The J2 is super simple, and that's why I recommend it. Like, literally, it is the juicer for lazy people. But don't tell anybody I told you that, because I don't consider myself lazy. I just have so many other things to do in life. And the amazing thing about the J2 is it allows you to get the fresh juice into you when you otherwise probably wouldn't have done it, because it could be a lot of work when you're juicing. Today's video is my favorite anti-inflammatory juice for the holidays, for the winter time. In the wintertime, we have the cranberries that many of you guys may have eaten in cranberry sauce, in the relish and whatnot. But, you know, better than making relish out of them, in my opinion, is making juice out of it, because you really concentrate the nutrients out of the cranberries. You know, they say it is good for, you know, different UTIs and urinary tract things and all these things. And besides the cranberries that are in season during the wintertime, the pomegranates, also one of the most nutritious. I mean, I consider it a berry, but it is a fruit, you know, that is a wealth of polyphenols and different beneficial anti-inflammatory properties. So many different vitamins and minerals in there that are so good for you that you could now ingest fresh, because a lot of people just don't like chewing on the seeds. But with the Nama J2, you will even extract the nutrients from the seeds, as well as that white pith that most people don't eat. Now, along with the cranberries and the pomegranates, we're also going to take it to the next level by adding some ginger. Ginger, also a very anti-inflammatory vegetable that I want you guys to include in your juices on a regular basis. So we got a little bit of ginger in there, as well as the jicama, to basically add a lot of water content, add a nice neutral flavor to our juice, but more importantly, help the juicer to be more efficient when it's juicing some of the softer items, as you guys are going to see. Then finally, of course, you could juice these items straight without a sweetener. That'd be preferable, but I like things a little bit moderated. So we're going to add actually the Asian pears. Asian pears also in season for the fall/winter. If you guys can't find Asian pears, that's all right. You know, get some nice hard firm pears or some nice hard firm apples. Firm fruits always juice the best. So while you could put the whole pomegranate in the juicer to juice without peeling off the skin, without even pre-cutting it, I do recommend you guys like peel the jicama, because you shouldn't be eating the outside of the jicama. You could put the ginger in whole. I don't recommend that either. You could surely drop in the cranberries, but I'll show you guys my special technique to maximize your extraction out of the cranberries, because the cranberries, frankly, are the most expensive ingredient here. I mean, these are organic cranberries, 12 ounces. They run about $3 for me. I always recommend you guys look at the pack size, because a lot of the organic cranberries I was finding was only 8 ounces for like the same price. So make sure it says 12. I got these at actually Whole Foods. And then, you know, the Asian pears, you could put these in whole. I always encourage you guys to take off the stem out of different fruits before juicing. But I pre-cut them, because when you pre-cut the fruits, you can more effectively load up the hopper. So that means you could fit more in there, so that you'll get more juice to come out in one cycle of the juicing process. So now I want to show you guys how I process these ingredients for juicing. So number one, on the Asian pears, I simply wash them and quarter them into quarter chunks. On the cranberries, I simply wash them, spun dry them, and have them right here. On the jicama, I peel the jicama and cut it into cubes. That's the best way to juice the jicama, when it's in cubes, because then it could easily get rotated around with the processing blade and get congealed and mixed into the other items you're juicing. On the pomegranates, as I said, you could put the whole thing in whole, juice the skin and all. The skin is technically edible. That being said, if you do juice the skin, it's gonna make the bitterness factor and the flavor in your mouth that makes it go will go up like by 2. So you could take out only the seeds, which could take some time. I opted for the step in between, where basically I just cut off the coloring of the outside of the pomegranate as much as possible, but I left a lot of the white pith part. Once again, this white pith part will make your juice more stronger tasting, dare I say, maybe bitter or astringent, I don't know. There's definitely some of the nutrients in there that'll make it kind of taste that way, but you know, if you juice the white part, it will be a more nutritious juice than just taking out the arrows, which you could juice. If you didn't want it bitter at all, you could just take out the arrows alone and still get the benefit of juicing the little seeds. And then of course on the ginger, you know, I do not recommend juicing ginger whole, although you could. I do recommend, you know, slicing your ginger into little slices. You know, when you slice it into little slices, you know, the machine is less likely to clog and jam, and there's going to be actually a better extraction on the produce. So I'm going to take another break real quick and let you guys know, if you guys appreciate my videos, I would encourage you guys to use my special coupon code POM, P-O-M 55. I'll throw it up right there. For a $55 off discount if you guys want to buy the NAMA J2. You know, my name is John Kohler and I'm from Discount Juicers, and I always try to get you guys the best discount on the juicers. And at this time, the DJ55 code is the best code you guys will be finding on the NAMA J2. Make sure you use that code if you guys want to buy the juicer. When you use that code, not only will you save $55, but NAMA will share with me a small commission so I can continue to make my educational videos for you guys. I get to share with you guys my tips and techniques that I've learned over the last 27 years juicing with various juicers. And as I said earlier in this episode, the NAMA J2 is my favorite juicer that I use most these days. So I appreciate you guys so much who will use my coupon code, and I want to thank you guys who have used my coupon code in the past. It is much appreciated, so I could pay my light bill, buy my produce, and you know, make a living doing what I love, sharing the wealth of information about the fruits and vegetables, as well as how to process them the best ways in the juicers. Alright, so on with this video. Let's go ahead and show you guys first off how to get the most extraction from cranberries, because they are actually quite expensive. You'll see many people just load the cranberries up, turn the juicer on, and walk away and let it juice, and most people might put cranberries in with the pomegranates at the same time. I'm not going to do that. I don't want the juicer just to process the cranberries once. I want the juicer to process them twice for the most nutrition. So this is the first step we'll be doing. We're just going to go ahead and take all the cranberries. This is like 24 ounces worth. We're just going to dump them in there. Look at that. Dumping right in. Oh, lost one. Right in the machine. A few more. You could easily fit 24 ounces of cranberries. You could probably fit maybe 36 ounces, one more thing. And then we're just gonna go ahead and turn it on, right? So the first step is we're gonna juice the cranberries alone. And so we're gonna speed this part of the video up for you guys and show you guys and come back at you when it's done. You can see it's starting to flow out right here, and you can see the pulp starting to shoot out the other side. So in no time at all, the NAMA J2 basically turned the 24 ounces of cranberries into 375 milliliters of juice. Such an amazing job. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take out this pulp. You know, this pulp is actually quite dry. I could squeeze it, and you're really not squeezing too much out of it. But, you know, to me, I could get this broken down more by actually running it through the juicer a second time. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and load the juicer up a second time using the other ingredients that we have here. So the first step is we're just going to go ahead and take a handful of the cranberry mush, kind of mix it up and kind of get it all distributed in the bottom. We're going to go ahead and then take a handful of the jicama cubes, drop that in there. Then we're going to go ahead and take maybe like one whole apple or 4 little pieces, drop that in there. We're going to take 2 halves of the pomegranates, drop that in there. Once we do that, then we're going to go ahead and once again, we're layering up the different items. We're putting more of the cranberries, so the cranberries could actually go back through the juicer a second time with the other ingredients. We're going to go ahead and drop all our ginger in there. Once again, we're going to go ahead and put in some more of the jicama cubes once again. The jicama cubes, because they are nice, hard, and firm, and it is a root vegetable. It's a very neutral flavored root vegetable. I love juicing it when I juice fruits. Hey, check the link down below for my video on the things you want to do when you juice fruits, one of which is actually include things like jicama. Then once again, we're going to go ahead and put a few apples in there. And look at this, we are loading this up with lots of produce. You know, and the juicer works while you like literally could walk away and not pay attention to your juicer. This is something you can't do with other juicers, that you got to sit there and literally push each produce item in. That is the game-changing technology in the Nama J2, and they've optimized it so that you can walk away, because some juicers that may look like this, you know, will clog up and jam if you do walk away, if you're not monitoring it. Oh, and let's go ahead and just make sure we get the rest of the cranberry pulp back into the juicer to go through a second time to get a further extraction on it. All right, let's go ahead and close the hatch, turn the machine on, and let's go ahead and let it get to juicing. So everything's mixing around in there. The cranberry pulp is going through a second time to get ground up and wrung out again. All the other ingredients are basically getting ground up and automatically fed into the juicer and juiced. And yeah, as you guys can see, we got the delicious juice coming right out. So I think what I'm going to do this time is we're going to get up and walk out of the room and let the machine work. And while you guys watch to see the juicing process happen in high speed, proving that you don't even need to watch the juicer as it's running. Alright, so as you guys can see, the juicer worked without incident and made like literally over 1,000 milliliters, over a quart of juice without me even being here. That is really the game-changing technology in the Nama J2 juicer. That's what I love. And if we take a look at this pulp now, look at this pulp now, the cranberry is just integrated in there. And if we squeeze this, I mean, that's pretty doggone dry. I can squeeze a few drops out, but that's because we also juice things like the Asian pears, the jicama, and the pomegranate, but it definitely got the cranberry pulp mixed up and more ground up, so we extracted even further nutrients out of the cranberries by running it back through the machine a second time. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pour this juice. So I'm going to make 3 quarts total because I still got some more to juice. And so let's go ahead and pour this juice out, because now we got all the cranberry in here and the rest I don't have cranberry, so we're going to go ahead and put about 1/3 of the juice in each of the quart jars. Alright, so next step is let's go ahead and just load up the juicer with the rest of the produce. I always like to put in, you know, like the pomegranates in there first. You generally want to put the soft things in first, so in this case the pomegranates are the fruits, they're softer. Then we're going to go ahead and put in some of the Asian pears in there. Oh, and I want to show you guys the specific recipe. I used 3 pomegranates, 1 jicama, 2 bags of the cranberries, and I used double the amount of Asian pears. So if you use 3 pomegranates, you want to use 6 Asian pears to account, to kind of offset the kind of more stronger taste of the pomegranates, to bring some sweetness in there, because the Asian pears is what's really giving this recipe the sweetness. So we got the Asian pears in there, and now once again we're just going to go ahead and line it with jicama. I love using jicama as a neutral vegetable to juice. It adds a lot of extra liquid content. In addition, the jicama is rich in the inulin, which is there and can help to feed your microbiome. Let's go ahead and put in the rest of the pomegranates here into the Nama J2. We're going to go ahead and drop in a few more of the Asian pears, and then we're going to go ahead and top it off with another handful of the jicama. Shut that up, turn it on, and once again we're going to go ahead and let that juicer run while I'm not even here to watch it. Alright, so as you guys can see, the Nama J2 easily worked through all that produce again, and this time we created approximately about just shy of 800 milliliters of the juice that now we're going to go ahead and mix in, once again, to these jars. Alright, finally we're going to go ahead and juice the rest of the ingredients that I already have pre-prepped, including this time we're just going to go ahead and dump in all the rest of the Asian pears, as well as dump in all the rest of the jicama. once we got it all loaded up, once again, we're just gonna go ahead and turn it on and let the juicer go to work. And while the juicer's running, I now have the time to go and wash the dishes I've created. Alright, so as you guys can see, the juicer just finished, and as you guys can see, this hopper is completely empty. Last tip I want to give you guys is we go ahead and tip this up, and all the excess juice will drain out of the juicer so that you don't sacrifice one drop. This time we made approximately 16 ounces of juice that we're go ahead and then add to our other juices. I like to have everything balanced out in the recipe because this recipe is technically a bulk juice recipe where I'm juicing a bulk amount of juice. And as you guys can see, I made nearly 3 quarts of juice this one time juicing in the Nama J2, and that's why I love this juicer, right? You saw I wasn't even here. The machine was running while I was gone. I wasn't even in the room watching it. It juiced on its own. It's like a child you don't have to get a babysitter for. I love that so much. And look, the result was 1, 2, 3 quarts of juice here that I made. This is an anti-inflammatory juice, and now I want to show you guys a few more things before I leave. Got these special lids and a vacuum pump, so this will allow you to store the juice for up to 7 days if you store it in this way. Very important to do my techniques, right? These are crazy techniques you're not going to hear on any other YouTube channel because I've come up with them over the many years, and I've researched them as well. Right now we have some dissolved oxygen in the juice itself, and also when we put a lid on it, there's oxygen in the headspace. Many influencers and people teaching about juicing online will say, fill it to the brim and cap it off, and then you could store it, right? You're gonna exclude the oxygen. Well, yes, you're excluding the oxygen in the headspace for the most part, but you still have all the oxygen, dissolved oxygen that was created in the juicing process. So that's what the pump does. First, the pump, as you pump like 2 times, you pump out the oxygen in the headspace. But as you pump, if you pump it a lot, right, what starts to happen is, if you guys look closely, air bubbles are basically coming up from the bottom of the juice into the headspace. That's why you want to not fill the jars all the way up to the top, right? And we're going to go ahead and pump it a bunch. And what you're going to see if you guys look closely is you'll see basically air bubbles floating up to the top. This is the air, the dissolved oxygen in the juice that you are now removing. This allows you to store the juice for up to 7 days. Links down below to all my other tips on how to store juice for up to a week if you're wanting to do that. This is just a few of the tips. But yeah, very important to store the juices properly. And then look, you could juice like 1 day a week. Actually, today happens to be a Sunday, I'm doing this. And now you could have a juice for during the week, and you could make more than 3 juices. You know, I've made 7 juices in one sitting before in like under an hour. Links down below to my videos where I make a root juice, including carrots and beets and jicama and red cabbage, or even my green juice where I bulk juice with the Nama J2. This completely saves you time so you don't have to wake up every morning and juice. You can just do it once a week. And the amazing thing about the J2 is that it's also so easy and simple to clean if you use my self-cleaning technique. And here it is. I'm going to share with you guys that right now. We basically have about 20 ounces of water, right? I added soap to the bottom, like 2 squeezes, 2 pumps. Added warm water would be best. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this spout cap is closed, very important. And we're just going to go ahead and simply pour the water into this top hopper. The way they designed this is that this is a waterproof seal right here. You can't do this with a lot of juicers. If you do this with a lot of juicers, it's just going to start leaking out the sides. Nama has designed this so that you could do this auto cleaning function. Not every juicer does, right? Once you got the water in there, you're going to go ahead and just turn the machine on. And if you look closely, right, as you turn the machine on and it's running, the top chamber has the water. It'll basically transition to the bottom chamber. In addition, you may see some pulp start to move out slowly out of the juicer, right? The juicer is now evacuating the extra pulp that's collected inside the machine, as well as running around the soapy water. It's like agitating it in there like your dishwasher does for you. The water went in clean. You guys can already see this water is starting to turn a little bit murky. and brown, because once again, this machine is washing itself for you. Somewhat, you still will have to do a final rinse and brush at the end, but this will reduce the amount of cleaning you will have to do. I recommend you guys run this feature probably for a good 2 minutes. The way to know specifically is if pulp does start coming out of the machine, when the pulp stops moving out of the machine, that is your indication that the self-cleaning function has basically gotten a lot of the pulp and the residue out of the machine. Alright, so I think I let that juicer run enough, and as the machine was running, I was finishing up pulling a good strong vacuum on my juices here that now I could easily store for up to 7 days in my cold fridge. Another tip for you guys, make sure if you guys are storing your juices, store it in the back of the fridge where it is the coldest, not like in the door. Also make sure your fridge is set really cold, down to like 35 degrees. Don't set it up at 40 degrees. At 40 degrees, the juices will not last as long. All right, now that it's done, we're gonna go ahead and I like to have it continue running while I open this spout cap. And as you guys can see, all the dirty water like literally running out of the machine. So all the water that I got agitated inside there is now being evacuated out, including a few different particles and whatnot. And as you guys can see inside the machine, it's actually fairly clean. So this is actually quite impressive. So now we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. And once again, I like to drain out the excess water out of the machine. We'll just do that by tipping this up, letting it sit here for a good 15 seconds. Once you're done with that, you can see like this is all, this water went in clean, and look, this is dirty water, right? And you didn't do nothing, you just poured some soapy water in there. Now when I showed you guys actually what you're gonna have to clean when you're completely done, you still will need to rinse this, and I do recommend scrubbing it off a little bit. You could use a high pressure spray in your kitchen. This top has a little bit of residue on there, we can just spray that right off. This hopper, it's already actually pre-soaped for you, so you just need to get a brush in there and brush off the sidewall, spray some water down in there. The bottom also, once again, pre-soaped for you, getting already clean for you, cleaning itself so you don't have to. Check this out. It's already nice and sudsy in there. You just got to take your brush and brush this out, and look at this auger. Oh my gosh, this auger is pretty much clean. I see a little bit of residue here at the bottom, right? That's hardly nothing. Underneath the auger, sometimes there may be pulp collected under here. In this case, there is not. There's a little channel in here that you will need to kind of blast some water in to get it out. No big deal. Next, let's go ahead and take out this wiping blade and juicing screen. Look at this wiping blade. This is basically already clean. I might brush this a little bit, rinse it under water, get soapy water off. You're totally done cleaning that. And look at this juicing screen, right? Don't do this on a Revo 830. You do this on a Revo 830, there's still pulp clogged into the little holes of the juicing screen, even if you do a self-cleaning feature like this, right? That's why I love the NAMA J2. It just basically has been engineered to save you guys time across the board. This screen on the outside, there's no residue on it. It's already clean. Now, yes, on the inside, there's a little bit of residue that you want to blast off with water, and I do still encourage you guys to use a brush on the outside as well as the inside of the screen to ensure that there are no holes that are trapped with pulp. If you don't do that, it will reduce your yields over time. And then finally we have the main bottom bowl. You guys can see that's fairly clean. Actually, the only part that's not is we just need to open this trapdoor, and the pulp will basically flop out the bottom here simply and easily, and then you just want to rinse this off, brush this down a little bit, and you're done juicing. That is really the beauty of the NAMA J2 juicer. It makes it simple and easy for you guys to juice, so you guys will be more juice compliant and incorporate and drink more juices in your life, and basically change your life because you're doing it more often than not, because it is so easy. NamaWell team has made the juicing process so much easier coming out with the NAMA J2, and I'm so glad they did, because I don't believe that any other juicer company would have come up with this design to make it easy for you guys. And I don't want you guys to miss out, right? They will be selling out for the holiday season, so get your NAMA J2 juicer now with that coupon code before it expires. Links down below to the coupon code, as well as the link to buy it at namawell.com. You too can be making some anti-inflammatory cranberry ginger pomegranate juice that tastes amazing. Actually, before I go though, I gotta try my juice. We just let the vacuum off that, and let's go ahead and try this juice and let you guys know what it tastes like. Look at this juice. Nice, brilliant color. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and try it. Mmm. That's actually a nice, thick, and creamy juice. And actually, you know what? I'm not tasting the bitterness of the pomegranates. It just melds in there really nicely with the different ingredients that I've used it. So yes, make sure you write down this recipe. It is definitely a winner in my book. Nice and smooth to go down. You got the benefits of the juicer that juiced the pomegranate seeds, as well as all that white pith, without that harsh, bitter flavor that you may have tasted in the past with other pomegranates. That's quite delicious. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please help me out. Do me a favor. Thumbs this video up, right? That'll help out the YouTube algorithm. Push this video out to more people so that they could learn about the most amazing juicer on the market at this time, as well as an amazing juice recipe you could make with that juicer. How this machine will literally almost entirely clean itself. And you could store your juices to batch juice, like literally 1 hour, 1 day a week. You could have juice for the entire week and save money from going to those expensive juice bars where you gotta spend like, drinking a quart juice from a juice bar would probably be over like 40 bucks, right? Make it fresh at home and make it even better with the Nama J2 juicer. Also, be sure to share this video with others that are interested in purchasing a juicer, whether it's on Facebook groups, a juicing group, a juicing, fasting group. This is the machine I would use for a juice cleanse, or if I wanted to juice fast. And hey, guess what? The New Year's is coming up. Best time to save the money now on the Nama J2, because the prices will not be this cheap in January, and they also might be sold out. So buy one now and store it to the side and have it for when you guys do your New Year's resolutions to lose the weight that you gained during the holiday season. Also, be sure to comment down below, what did you like about the Nama J2 the most? Did you like that it auto feeds itself so that you don't have to sit there and babysit your juicer? Or did you like the auto cleaning function more? How you just pour water in, and as you guys can see, all the parts, they're almost all clean. So now this juicer is gonna be a breeze for me to clean. And actually, I look forward to the juicing process instead of dreading the juicing process like I have done with many other juicers in the past. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes that have come out every 5 to 7 days. You don't know what new juicers I'll be unboxing, or juicers I'll be comparing, or what new juicer knowledge bombs and my tips and techniques that I've learned over the last 27 years juicing with you guys. And make sure you click the bell to get notified as many videos come out. And finally, be sure to check out past episodes. The past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 600 episodes at this time on the channel dedicated to teach you guys all about juicing, juicers, as well as other appliances that allow you to elevate your fruit and vegetable game to get more fruits and vegetables in you, which are the healthiest foods on the entire planet. I'll put links down below in the description to other videos I've made with the Nama J2 showing how it makes root juices, how it makes green juices, how you could juice fruits in it. It's probably one of the best slow juicers for juicing fruits, how it's so easy to clean. It's just one amazing machine. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.